What's up, guys? I think I'm live now. And right before I hit live, I was going to text Lewis and tell him that I was doing this. So he has no idea. So give me 1 second, I'll be right with you. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm going live on our channel. Boom. Okay, cool. Lewis is in the nose now. What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are doing well. Um, I've been busy a lot of late, and apparently something went wrong. Okay, is it working? Yeah, okay, we're good, I think. Um, Hope everybody's having a good day so far. Mine's been pretty good. Lewis and I had a friend who had a wedding not that long ago, a live stream wedding. First time I've ever had one of those or been to one of those. Yay, virus and quarantine. Uh, Before I get into some of the comic book stuff, we've been gone for a while. Me and Lewis's wife are all essential workers. And so, actually, I'd say that she's more essential than the two of us. So, because she's a nurse, so obviously she's a lot busier, which means that he's got to watch the kids. And but I work for in a freezer with food, so and the hours have been crazy lately. And Lewis works at a retail store that's still been open with essential supplies. Um, but So we've just been super busy, and I've had no time to do anything. Like weekends come, and I'm just like, I've got to sleep, like, or just not do stuff. If you understand. So that's where we've been the last couple months. I can't believe it's been that long since we've done this. Also, kind of like there's a little bit of a burnout. They talk about that with YouTube, but mine's really been more of just the state of the industry. Like I just wonder like how much is really out there to look forward to, which is kind of sad. Like Star Wars, it's in shambles right now. I mean, there's some good stuff, but there's some really bad stuff, and like I just have very little hope for good Star Wars in the future. I mean, I can always read the old stuff. So I guess, I'm back to where I was, 10 years ago, where I didn't think we'd really get anything else. Of course, Clone Wars was still coming out at that point, but anywho, and then, like, the MCU is pretty much over. Like, I know they're in the next phase, but they've given us, like, almost nothing to look forward to. They just, and with the virus being thrown in there, it just like even more of their plans were thrown asunder. And then like the DCEU is in shambles, so that's fun. Which back when I said before Man of Steel that they shouldn't launch their whole in DCEU off of Man of Steel before we even knew how bad Man of Steel was going to be. Which, I mean, it's an okay movie. It's just not a good Superman movie, is what I would say. I think Lewis might agree to that. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, so it's just like, and then comic books, like, there were fewer and fewer titles that I was interested in, which, I might try to do a video soon about some series that I'd love to see come out. And they're now canceling the Terrifics, which has been like the biggest thing for me. Uh, Actually, I was going to show these are the two that I got recently. Support your local comic book store. Teen Titans, which is slowly losing my interest, but the Terrifics has been amazing. There's not been maybe one or two issues in the whole series that I haven't enjoyed. So that's where we've been. Didn't want to do like a regular video because I hate update videos. I didn't want to just do like a regular update video. That would just be boring. So I just figured before I jumped into some fun stuff that me and Lewis did during the break to kind of get away from everything. Uh, that I would just give you an overview of where we're at. So hopefully soon we might be doing some videos. I don't know. We're still trying to figure stuff out. We've been talking about some changes to the channel, and then the virus hit, and we haven't really been able to do any of that. So like, it was just. It's been an interesting year. Yay, 2020. Let me know what you've been doing up to these last few months. Let us know what books have you been reading, what movies you've been enjoying, series. What in sci-fi have you been interested in? So let's go through some of my stuff over here. We had there was a warehouse sale that me and Lewis went to one Sunday after church, right before the virus. Like right before. I think it was. Well, okay, so it had already started, but it was like. Okay, it was because they made us wash our hands. Whatever good that does, man. It's been a while. But this is some stuff that we found. You saw probably in the oh my goodness, man, I'm just blanking. The thumbnail. Wow. You saw in the thumbnail that I had a box of stuff, and it's this right here. Oh! So, that's my half. Lewis had a little bit. We filled this whole box up pretty packed tight. And some of these I've actually added from other stuff just because I've been organizing my whole. One of the nice things about being isolated is it gives you time to review your comic book hoard. I mean collection. I'm not a hoarder. I watched. Don't listen to this part, Lewis. I listened to or watched, what is it? A&E. Is that the channel that has the hoarders? Late last year, I was watching some of their videos, and I would just like look over at my comic book collection, and I'd look back, and then I'd look over at my comic book collection. I'm like, I'm not a hoarder. That's a collection, right? Which led me to like start looking through like, is all of this like stuff that I want to really keep, and I have like a big stack of stuff that's just not good. It's like, why am I holding on to this? So, anyways, these are good. Or most of them are. The ones that I bought are good. We'll go with that. Or at least interesting to me at the moment. I gotta find the right stuff here. That is not the right stuff. So I'll just go through some random stuff now, because that's what this stream is, just random. I was like, I need to get off the TV for a little while and stop playing video games. That's another thing I've been doing, is playing video games. That's been really fun. I haven't had time to do a lot of them, but I picked up Pokemon Pokemon Sword, and that's been a lot of fun. Getting into the Pokemon world a little bit more. I've been playing Three Houses. What is it? Fire Emblem, and that's a great show. Just really fun. Game. It's a really great game, and you really have to play through it 2 or 3 times to get all the details. And I'm on my 4th playthrough, and I started out on maddening, and it is very maddening. So, anyways, I think there's been a couple others. Got an Xbox. Started playing through Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie. Love that show. Or those show. Why do I keep saying show? Love those games. Anyways, so here's one: Superman Jr. and Superboy Senior. Superman Jr. and Superboy Senior. So that's pretty fun. I haven't read it yet. It's a Teen Titans spin-off. It's got like the Young Justice crew which is pretty cool. So got that. Found that one. I also found a bunch of Young Justice and Teen Titans books. So that was a fun little haul that I got. So I got a bunch of Young Justice to fill out my run that Lewis gave me. So there's all of them there. This is professional YouTube right here. So I've got a good bit of that. Oh, there's a double. Whoops. So I bought 2 of the same issue at the same place at the same time. Brilliant, Jonathan. Brilliant. I got some Teen Titan stuff. Same series, just after, because they went from Young Justice straight into being the Teen Titans. Because at the time the Teen Titans were still going, and then they're like, oh well, let's just move Young Justice into the Teen Titans. So that's what they did. Anywho, so that's gonna further out my run. Then I bought a Random Legion book because I have all but like 3 or 4 issues of this series, because Lewis gave it to me and then he insisted that I fill it out. So that's the kind of friend Lewis is. He'll give you a bunch of random stuff, a whole bunch of it, for free. And then he makes you finish it for him. I haven't read any of it yet, but I will at some point. So then one of the things I was really excited about, which Lewis had no idea that I even knew about, X-Men. I got a whole bunch of X-Men. Let me see if I'll show you how much I got, because it's pretty much a full run almost. Oh my goodness. That's how much X-Men I got. That's pretty cool. I think it's Age of Apocalypse, or started off then. And just through 36. It's not every issue, but it's most of them through 36. Just a bunch of random issues. The whole run. So I guess it's not really random, is it? Lewis was like, how did you know X-Men? I was like, well, you know, in the book that we've been writing for a while, book series, you know, one of the characters is loosely based off X-Men. As far as power-wise, I'd say, like, he's based off. As far as, like, character-wise, completely different character. But as far as his powers, I was just investigating years ago what are some different types of telekinesis. And so X-Man was the closest to where I really wanted my character. And so I was just looking to see what was out there, what had been done. And of course I made it my own, but you know, I wanted to see like where's the spectrum of where telekinesis can be used. Like, is it just going to be like picks up rocks, or is it gonna, you know, I think X-Man eventually is able to move his molecules so that he can go through walls, and so, or something like that. Maybe I'm thinking of the Flash, which I know can do that, but I think X-Man can too. Like he adjusts the molecules in the wall, maybe, or maybe his own, so that he can go through stuff. So, but I said like the most powerful is that if his most powerful, like he could, you know, move planets in telekinesis. I don't know that I'll ever have my character do that, because that's a bit OP, and I don't want to be able to have to do stuff like that. But you know, it was just in my thing. So that's how I learned about the character. So when I saw that pretty much the whole series was in there, and I mean, we basically got it for let's 30 issues. I got it basically for $10. So I mean, you can't beat that price, right? I forget like our total. It was like 200 and something, over 200, and all we paid was $80 for the box. The box that I picked up and showed you. It wasn't like a long box or anything. It was that box right there, and so like we got a really good deal. He had 40, I had 40 into it, and so Um, but total, like, we got more than 160, which would be 50 cents each. So we got like 250 or something like that. So pretty good, pretty good. Three for a dollar, basically. Then I got a JLA run, which I believe it looks like it's Morrison, but I think it eventually becomes Mark Waid. I'll show you the first few. So I got a whole bunch of those. So that's pretty cool. I was pretty excited. It's also got let me see if I can't show the full team here. Excuse me. That is a weird picture. I'm not going to use that one. Okay, well, I don't see a good picture with the whole team. I haven't started it yet, but it is one, and here's some more, because like I said, I got like a whole run of it. Pretty excited about that. But it's got it's got Plastic Man, it's got Martian Manhunter, it's got Kyle Rayner, which I'm really excited about. I'm pretty sure this is a Wally West. Batman, Wonder Woman, of course. It's hard for me to tell the others. I think that's Aquaman, maybe. And I'll have to learn the rest as I read through. So I'm pretty excited. It looks like a really cool series. There's Superman. Looks like he's in it too. Like I said, I haven't actually read it yet, so I don't want to talk about it as if I know all the characters. So, because and here's a whole bunch more. And this is the one that ran into Tower of Babel, which I know because Lewis gave me the Tower of Babel, and actually, there's the Tower of Babel right there. So those I already had, I just threw them in. So I can't claim that I bought those at this shop. Lewis had already given it to me. That was part 2, by the way. Part 1 is up here somewhere because I had already read it. Here's some more of that. I got a whole series. I was pretty excited. This is where it starts over in Wade. Looks like he was in the 30s. I don't know if you can see, but get it on the... There we go. I don't know if you can read that. Wade and Grayson. I wonder if that's the same Grayson that did Nightwing. There's another picture of a new lineup. That must be much later. That's pretty cool. It's got Nightwing in it. So, anywho. So those were the big runs that I got. So, then I got Dark Stars, which Lewis said was the first, at least it's the first #1 of the Dark Stars, which showed up in the Rebirth Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. So that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed those series, or those stories with them. Just the conclusion of that was great. Guy Gardner becomes Dark Star for a little while, and then he's beaten down, and becomes a Green Lantern again, and then, what's the guy's name? It's Tomar 2? I think Tomar 2 becomes a Dark Star. Yes, because I think that Tomar 2, I remember is the second one, even though it's not spelled 2. And then Tomar Ray, I think that's right. Tomar Ray is the father. And so Tomar 2, he becomes a Dark Star and wants to bring vengeance and actually kills the man that killed his father. And so Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps have to bring him to justice. So that's the Dark Stars. So I'll be interested to see how similar or different they are in this. So that's cool. Just a fun little comment. So I got that. And then just found some old Justice League International. It's got Blue Beetle and Booster, so I'm probably going to enjoy it. Because I love me some Booster. But there's a couple others. Um, so, fun stuff. Pretty excited about that. Then I found a DC Talent Showcase, which I would not pay $7.99 for. I didn't even do that for the 2019 one with Brandon, even though I was pretty interested in it. Because, like, I know this is a bigger book, but it's all your new talent. Like, it's people who are unproven and we don't know, like, anything about them. What I would do is I would have a bigger book for the same price as a regular book. Because you're going to pay them less. And so the only time I buy these is if they're super cheap. Brandon gave me a sweet deal the first time, and then this one, of course, was like 33 cents. So I was like, sure, I'll check it out. And then Lewis told me I should check out this series, so I did for $1. You can't beat it. I don't know anything about it, but yeah, Final Night. Looks like it's a Justice League story. So, pretty cool. Then I got a random Green Lantern annual because it looks cool. So, I do stuff like that. I mean, it was 33 cents, so you might as well, right? Then I got a Green Lantern by Venditti, and it's got Saint Walker on it. I love Saint Walker, so that's pretty sweet. That's the only reason I got it. Saint Walker is one of my favorites. Then I got a Justice League Task Force. This is just a pretty cool cover. So yeah, that's what I did. Got some rando Flash stories. I don't know anything about them, but I figured, for 33 cents each, you might as well check it out, right? Let's see. No. Okay, I think some of these. Then I found a bunch of these, which I was pretty excited about. It's the second run of New Teen Titans. I usually see these for, like, what is it? They're usually like $3 or $4. But I don't like buying $3 or $4 comic books. But these are in excellent condition, and they were only 33 cents each. So yeah, of course I bought them. So that's pretty cool. And I know this is the second series, so it's not even the first, but pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool. Yeah. It's got the question on the back. It's pretty sweet. So that was pretty neat. Got those as well to go with my New Teen Titans stuff that I have. Is any of this? Oh, okay. So I got these, being Supergirl. I think it's 1, 2, and 4. I was like, I wasn't going to buy them when they came out because they were overpriced and I just didn't know anything about them. But they looked cool. Yeah, I'm a big Supergirl fan, so. I think the current Supergirl at the time had kind of gone downhill. Also, they were more expensive than the regular price of comics at the time because they're, bigger. They're not. I don't know if you can really see, but they're, in paperback form instead of magazine form, and so they're a little girthier. And so I didn't really want to pay a higher price for them when I didn't know the author, didn't know whether it was going to be good, and it was more expensive, so I didn't really want to risk it. But for $1, getting all 3 of the 4, not too bad. So I can check it out for $1, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. It's pretty neato magneto, if you ask me. Also got. Come on, work with me. whole bunch of Invader stuff. Now the first two I already had, or first three I already had, but I got a whole bunch of the others. So I was pretty excited about that. This was one of my favorite series that came out. This was Zdarsky, and I think I moved like right after it had come out, so I didn't really get all of them. So I was pretty sad to not be able to get them all, but it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed the series while I was getting it. So when like I said, I already had the first three, but when I saw that I could get all of the others for only a couple dollars, $2 or $3, I was like, yes, please. So that's kind of my comic book haul. There might have been a couple more that I got, rando issues, and I have since gone through some of my stacks and put them in the other boxes. Because like I said, I finally decided to finish going through the boxes, and because I'd had them stacked up in my living room, I was like, it's time to get these things out of here. So last weekend I just finished through them, and there we go. So yeah, I really enjoyed going out there. Me and Lewis will probably go back again. It's a store that in the Raleigh area that they have a warehouse sale every now and then, and I mean they have so much. We didn't even go through 50% of it, and near the end, like we didn't even like at the beginning, we didn't both go through each box, because we've gotten to the point where I can tell which ones he might be interested in, and he knows what I'm going to be interested in. Because he's the one that has kind of introduced me into the larger comic book world. Hold on one second. So, like, he'll go through, and if there's something I'm interested in, he'll pull it out for me. Vice versa. While I'm going through, I'll call out the name, or I'll just read the names of anything that looks like he might be interested. And if he doubts me, he'll just go through the box anyways. He's a lot faster than I am. But it's easy for me to tell what I'm going to like. I can usually look at the book and say, it's not me. Certain heroes I'm not really interested in. Certain eras I'm not really interested in. So it's pretty easy for me to tell what I want. So I'm sure it is for him. But because he has this encyclopedic knowledge of comic books, and so up to like until the last like 10 years or so. Anywho, so it's fun. We went through each box about halfway through, and there was so much more. There were 2 more lines that we could have gone through. We just didn't have time before they closed, and it took us a little while to get there, but it was a lot of fun. We'll probably go back, I'm sure. Just a cool little place. So yeah, I looked at my big stack of comics, and I was like, hey, I should offer to give these away. We did a comic book giveaway a while back, and we had like one person reply. Well, a long time ago, 2 years ago, we had a comic book giveaway, and we got it to the person. So that was awesome. But then the second comic book giveaway, we only had one person give us the answer, and then they never replied to us. So, not real sure. We still have the book. We give that away too. So, if you're interested in one of the random issues that I don't want, hit me up in the chat or go over to our Facebook superhero chat, and we'll talk to you. I'll send it for free. We'll pay shipping and stuff. I can't do that for everybody, but maybe the first 5 people who do that, maybe I'll give you something, or I'll tell you what I have, and then you can decide whether you're interested. Well, some of them are doubles. Like, I have a lot of doubles, so it's not all like just stuff I really don't like. But I'm also trying to get rid of the Plastic Man, Gail Simone stuff. It's just, I'm like, why am I keeping this? Like, it was so bad. Um, it was so bad. Uh, Anywho, so there's some fun stuff in there. I just accidentally bought double silver. Lewis gave me double silver, so cool stuff like that. So just hit us up over there. Leave us a. We'll send you a private message on Facebook. I can't really do much on YouTube as far as chats go. That's not public, and I'm not even able to do community stuff. So that's no fun. But on Facebook we can, because Facebook is at least somewhat cool in that area. Anywho, I'm not trying to push our Facebook channel because honestly, we don't do much over there either. Oh, so what's up? What else is new these days? I haven't finished the Clone Wars yet. I've just been it's been hard to watch through it for me. Um, I watched the first couple episodes. I think I'm like on episode 5 or 6. I finished all of those, and I enjoyed them. Like I think the only reason I enjoyed the Ahsoka stuff was because Ahsoka was in it, and it was good to see Ahsoka again. But like the other characters, they were better than I thought they would be. I'll give them that. But they were just kind of boring. Like I just didn't really have any interest in them at all. And maybe that'll change after a few episodes. But uh, the uh, the Echo episodes were really good. I really enjoyed those. I just I didn't really have any care for the other characters. Honestly, I was like, how does this have anything to do with the Clone Wars? Like, this would probably fit well as a rando Ahsoka story, but like, how does this have to? What does this have to do with the Clone Wars? Like, I'm not really sure. I get the connection because it is like the series is titled The Clone Wars. So I don't know. I don't know. Just my thoughts so far. It's okay. It's just like, what does this have to do with anything? Um, so I mean, it's always. I think it's always fun to see like the lower side of Coruscant. Um, and I thought it was interesting, like how distrustful the first girl was, the younger sister was, of Ahsoka for being from the upper Coruscant. Although I don't believe that she built like that shit by herself. Like, no, no, like, yeah, no. I don't believe that. Like, that's a bit too much. Like, maybe a speeder. Like Anakin was about her, a little bit younger than her, and had built a speeder. But he also worked in a junk shop. Like, how in the world does she get that kind of spaceship at her age? Like, no, you might maybe if you bought the parts in bulk, or like you bought big chunks of the ship already, and then put them together, maybe I'll believe you. But it looks too good to be like a, oh, this has just been my side project for, what, she's like a teenager, like a couple years. No, no, no. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And then yeah, I don't know. It's just a little takes me out of the believability factor of that. It's gonna take like a long time if you're building a ship from scrap, especially if you don't have all the parts. Um, I know of people who build cars, and it takes them years. And this is just a car. Like, it's just got to drive straight and turn. Like, it's not a spaceship that has to fly in space and keep you from, suffocating. Also, have all the doors and contraptions work and be able to go at light speed. So this outside would have to be durable and resistant enough to withstand light speed. And yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Not at all. Sorry. She is way too young for that to be a pet project, and just happens to to come along. Now, if it were a much smaller ship, like a one man ship, okay, it's closer, but no, that thing is huge. There's no way that she built that thing by herself. Like she can't even lift half the parts. Like she ain't that strong. I mean, we saw them try to fight a robot, and the thing took them out. Like maybe she had a whole robot crew, and maybe she did. I don't remember the episode. I don't know why I'm going off on this. Just trying to fill screen time. But yeah. So that's what I've been up to. I finished listening to Audible, who is not a sponsor, but I love their stuff and have been for a while now, about a year I think. Been listening to the Silmarillion. It's so good. And I've just been deep diving into the lore of Lord of the Rings, and that's been so much fun. That's been so much fun. Like I feel like I have a much better understanding of the whole universe now, which is just fantastic. Just fantastic. So, real fun stuff. Real fun. Uh, that's the other thing. I'm not actually finished with the Silmarillion. I've got the last two chapters left to listen to, and so that it takes a long time. It's a big book. Excuse me, and I've had to stop a few times and be like, okay, like I can't pay attention right now, so I need to re-listen to this again later. And so that it's taken me a little bit longer than it should have because there's times where I'm just too tired to keep listening, and I realize like halfway through the chapter, like, yeah, I didn't pay attention to any of that, and so I just wait a day and then listen to it again. So this is really cool. But Audible's fun. Like they've got a lot of Star Wars books on there too, which is fun. They got a whole bunch of stuff. I listened to The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. I've listened to the Harry Potter books, and haven't started. Well, I listened to a Star Wars book. I think it was Heir to the Empire. But then I found out that it was a shortened work. I'm like, no, I want the whole book. Like, what point of a short book is of a shortened version of the full book is there? Like, give me the whole unabridged version. That's what I want to listen to. Not and it took me a long time to find the actual version of Heir to the Empire, and I haven't listened to it yet, but I have it. So, or at least it's on my want list. I got like six books that I can credits to my name. I just haven't purchased them yet because once I wait till I usually wait till I finish a book before I get a new one. But anyways, so there's that, and then we got news about, and I'll probably do a video about this. My thoughts about DC leaving Diamond during this coronavirus, which yeah, so that happened. My first thought is it's about time somebody stepped up to Diamond and broke up the monopoly. But when I do a video about it, I'll probably talk a little bit more about some of the nuances and why it could be good, could be bad. We'll see. So yeah, that happened there. That happened, and probably the worst thing that they've done is they canceled the Terrifics. Like that's not terrific news. Um, I'm not very happy about that. We'll just say that. Lewis told me, and he was pretty sad too, because I've gotten him into the series as well. Um, so I'm pretty sad that they canceled it. I'm hoping that they'll do another run of it soon, because it was so good. It was so good. But the worst thing is that they're not even printing the final issue. Like, what in the world, DC? Like, the final issue is only digital. I'm like, why? Why do you do that to me? Just print the final issue if you're going to cancel it, and then do whatever crazy stuff you're going to do with the online digital copies. Like, I don't really need you to do that to me. Like, why? Just why? So that's That's my thoughts on that. I was pretty sad about that. I told Brandon in the shop, what was it, yesterday? I was like, listen, dude, if you get me a physical copy, I'll pay you extra for your troubles. And he's like, well, I'll just charge you regular. But I was like, no, you're missing my point. If you can find me a physical copy of this, I will pay whatever to get it. Like, come on, I don't want digital. I want a physical copy so I can put it in my box, or I can read it physically and then put it in my box. I'm more of a physical copy guy, anyways. Excuse me. I'm the same way on video games too. Like, I can pull out my N64 and play Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie and any of the other games I have on that because I have the physical objects with me. Um, I'm not reliant on a digital system to to be able to play. So, like, if something happens to a website and it goes down on the interwebs, then you can't play it anymore. It's like Halo 2. A lot. I remember when they shut those servers down. Um, and I remember hearing of a LAN part, just the online multiplayer part. I remember hearing of a LAN party that was going to go play Halo 2 um, for a few hours just to stick it to the man, I guess. I don't know. Just to uh, play it as long as they could on the last few days. Um, I don't know how that turned out. I just heard rumors of it back in the day. Uh, but, like, you can't play Halo 2 anymore. Like, it's online. And that's one of the things, like, I don't really put a lot of stock in video games that you can't play 20 years later. Um, like, I can still play my NES games. Uh, Now, the system is pretty old, and it's hard for it to work anymore. But if it works, I can play it. I'm not against like porting old games to new systems. The Switch has done that to some NES games and some SNES games. So I'm thankful for that, at least. Um, but so I'm not against that. I do like, um, but I do like having a physical copy as well. Let me know what you think. Are you a physical or digital copy uh, player, buyer, um, and why? And specifically comic books too. Like, are you okay with the digital copies, or do you prefer going into a comic book store, getting your physical copy, and going from there? I am curious what's going to happen to the market soon. Like, my hope is that they will be able to have lower comic book prices. I know that stores are going to have a hard time for a little while with shipping. I know that's a concern, and I guess I'm talking about it on this video, and I was going to do it on a separate, but most people don't watch live streams all the way to the end anyways. So I'm sure this will get buried at the end. And for you watching, thank you. I appreciate it. I know it's been a while, but I appreciate you watching and joining in. But it'll be interesting. I don't like monopolies. I like it when there's some good, healthy competition. And I think there's some problems with Diamond Industries, or whatever their company is called. I think there's some problems that they've had, um, and so I think that having multiple sources will probably be a good thing. And so having somebody that's a competitor usually makes you change to make uh, your prices, your stuff more competitive, rather than just if you're the only one in the market. Like, you can upcharge anything you want to, and you can make any demands, and so it's always good to have a monopoly. And the fact that DC switched over, like, comic book stores aren't just going to not buy DC. Maybe some of them will. They'll just stop buying DC, but in the long run, I don't think it's really going to be that big of a difference. People are going to want their DC characters, and if your shop doesn't own them, they'll go to another shop and go to a shop that does have them. So I don't think that I don't like the Walmart market thing. Um, I like having a comic book store where I can go and get it. I am curious what the industry is going to look like after this whole coronavirus thing, because I think there are some shops that probably close down for forever because of this. And what do you do? Um, so thankfully, Brandon is not closed down, and I know I haven't done much, but I have been in there a few times and tried to buy stuff. Um, so I think Lewis has done the same. So support your local comic book store. That's always our message. Let's keep this thing going. Just sci-fi in general is just a fun. It's one of the best communities out there. We welcome all people. We welcome all kinds of stories, all sorts of different things. Now we all have our opinions as to which ones are better, but that makes fun conversation or debate. uh, it's just a lot of fun. My brother, uh, he asked me the other day, or it was I guess a few months ago. He asked me, he's like, "Why do you like all this sci-fi stuff?" And I was like, "It's just really fun, like really interesting." And he's more of a sports guy. He likes sports and he likes stuff like that. And it's just like I don't understand the draw to that. Like I'll watch sports, but it's not really that interesting to me. I mean, I do love soccer. I like me some soccer, but that's another thing altogether. I mean, I like watching Quidditch. uh, it's funny when you'll watch more fake sports than you'll watch real sports. Stay on there, microphone. Stop. So that's where we are these days. Haven't really changed much. Just been working a lot. Both me and Lewis, and like I said, his wife too. All three of us are super busy, which means it's hard for me to get him to hang out. Well, I will say we finished uh, watching The Last Airbender, which I've seen, and I love the show, which is why I bought it. But he'd never seen it, and so I showed him. We finished watching through Avatar with him, and now he feels sad that he never watched it when it came out. Of course, he was a little bit older, so um, he it probably seemed too kiddie to watch when it first came out. So I'll give him that. But so we finished that, and I started getting him into some Doctor Who, and I showed him what is it called, Blink, and he was instantly hooked. Instantly hooked. I mean, that's probably my favorite episode is Blink. It's so funny. David Tennant, man, I love that guy. He's such a great actor. So fun stuff. So we started in episode 1, and I think we watched the first couple, and which is the I don't remember what the first one's called, but it's about the Plastic Men, and then the second one is about the end of the world. So I mean, they're all about the end of the world, but this is like the end of the world. Really fun series. I told him, I was like, Christopher Eccleston, I really like him, but some of the episodes are a little bit dry compared to Tennant's run. So I was like, just bear through the first season, and it'll get really good after that. Again, I love Christopher Eccleston. I wish he had more seasons to really develop the character, but it is what it is, I guess. Can't change the past. So, anyways, I think that's everything we've been going on. I know, there's been so much going on in America these days, which is where we're from, and so it's just pretty rough. I want to say, we pray for uh, George Floyd's family. I'm sure this is a pretty tough time for them, and just pray for America as a whole. Like, we're just a nation divided right now, and we, pray that God brings us back together, um, and unites us again. So I'd like to see things settle down again and bring peace back to the country. It's been pretty crazy, but we're not here to talk about politics broadly. Politics and comic books we'll talk about, but anyways, I just wanted to show some support for what's going on, and we hate to see all the things on the news these days. But things are starting to open up again, which is nice. Comic book stores will be back and running full time, which is nice. So that's not all down and dreary. There are good things coming about. My job's starting to slow out again. We're not having to push as much out. People are actually working again. Because we had a whole bunch of people just quit, a bunch of people leave for whatever reason, different reasons. Some people had to watch their kids because schools were out here, and some people just left because it got really, really bad. Really, really hard to work. And I understand that. And I guess some people got sick, so they couldn't work. And so it was really hard to stay at my job and do other things like YouTube, because when I got home, especially the weekend, I just needed to not do anything outward, and like having Lewis over to watch TV was about as much as I could really handle outside of work. So now that things have calmed down, I figured I'd hop back on. So keep watching, guys. I'm going to try to put some more videos out. It probably won't be daily, but I'll try to do something weekly. I might do some pre-recording though. I don't like doing that, but it is easier when you're working full-time hours. So it is what it is. Anyways, we thank you for watching. If you've been watching the stream, or if you're watching it now, later, appreciate it. We're going to try to do some stuff. It might be a little while before we get Lewis back on, but and that's usually because I don't see him very often, and so when he's around, I just want to hang out, I don't really want to spend all of our time together working, so don't know when I'll bring him back on, but I'll try to soon. Well, we might be hanging out Monday, so it might be as early as Monday. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But we thank you for watching. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. We're gonna try to get back at it. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give me a like. Appreciate that. We want to welcome you to the family. We see this as a family channel, but not kid friendly. We had if you haven't been watching our channel for a while, you probably don't know. I gave Lewis a Animal Man comic book that had a nude Animal Man. It didn't show anything, but he was nude. So we joked about showing that every video just to make sure people knew that this was family friendly, but not child friendly for legal reasons. But anyways, we appreciate you coming. Appreciate you watching. Leave us a comment. Would love to talk to you about what you're thinking about comic books or sci-fi or anything in general. I try to keep up with that stuff. So just let us know. But we'll catch you later. Peace. This is gonna take a while.